Hello everybody. I hope you're all doing pretty well there. As I said, you know, we're in a little bit of paradise here today. I mean, when I say paradise, I mean the best option of paradise you can get within about a 60-minute drive from the central of Seoul. So we're out at this little place they call the Pensions out here, and throughout the outskirts of Seoul, and we're just gonna hang out by a pool and just get some downtime for the week, you know, because weekends are pretty busy around here. And also we've got Chuseok coming up pretty soon, so if you're not going to leave Korea, staying in Seoul is what I recommend you do, because it's pretty awesome. There's not a lot of people around, so we decided to get our little break time a little early and just get out here. So it's been good. Again, while I was here, I thought it'd be a good time just to throw out a little lure and see if anyone has any questions they want answered or discussed, or anything to just generally chat about, you know, because that's always fun, you know, freestyle a little bit, see what's coming up. So if you're tuning in and you're watching, please don't be afraid to post any question about anything in general. Michael Davis, good to see you, brother. Because, you know, I'm open to answer almost anything. TJ, be careful what you ask for. So let's kick this bad boy off. Now I've got some questions that were posted up on my page below. Also, there's a couple others there that I've had DM to me, so I'll work through them here, and we'll just flow until I run out of mojo. Get a little cat in the background there. So, by the way, I'm actually allergic to cats, so if I sound a little bit bogged up, it's because I got some sneeze action going on. Excuse me, because of that guy right there. So I blame him. All right, so bear with me. Yeah, it's all right. Oh, he caught a grasshopper. He's an awesome little cat, that guy. Actually, he's pretty crazy. So, question number one. So we got hit with a question from my man GP, who asked me, what is my training split right now? So let's talk about some training. So as of right now, my whole reason for working out is actually longevity, right? I'm just in the game to be here for a long time. Hey son, go play with the cat. Where you go? So I'm trying to really get more efficient with my workouts and not spend too much time in the gym. You know, if I'm in the gym for 60 minutes, I feel like I'm there a little too long. Not because I don't want to be there. I still love training and I love going to the gym, so that's not about that. But there are just other things that I need to work on and other things I need to focus on as well. So I try to get in and out within 40 minutes to 60 minutes. Right now my workouts just consist of, you know, 3 to 4 days lifting weights, whether it's, you know, I usually kick off with strength of a deadlift or a squat or a bench press or some form of strict shoulder press, whether it's a one-arm dumbbell or something along those lines, just a little bit of a strength builder. And then I'll follow that up with some conditioning work, which is whether it's an AMRAP or rounds per time, or just as much work as I can condense in around 20 minutes. So I like to sort of keep it really intense, with one objective is to get business done and get out of there. You know, if I can finish off by being the most intense guy in that room for that hour, then I've won the prize. And then I spend the other couple of days a week, now that my foot's back to normal, working on some running. You know, maybe once a week I'll run. And now I'm going to add, now that the foot's getting better, I'll add some sprinting in there as well. So maybe once a week we'll do a track session or some stair sessions as well. So you know, I'm really loving that. So go play, my man. So that's basically how it works. Pretty simple splits. I train the body parts and the style that I just want to train and what I feel like I need to train, and what's either lagging or you know, what I want to have some fun with. My strength has stayed relatively consistent actually, so I'm pretty happy with that. And conditioning could obviously be a lot better coming off a foot injury, so that will come back up, you know, again pretty soon as well. Following on from that, I actually got asked a question recently about how to pick the right gym, so I thought I'd address that in this video because it's a really good question. You know, how do you choose the right gym or the right CrossFit gym or the right whatever for you? Because you know, I've got a bit of the insider's word on that. You know, I can share from a gym owner's point of view, a coach's point of view, a businessman's point of view, as well as an athlete and a member of gym point of view. So there's a lot of aspects I bring to it. So I'm more than happy to share my 2 cents on this topic. And again, this could be a video in itself, but when you want to choose a gym, let's just focus on something like a CrossFit gym right now. So we'll keep it pretty simple because that was what this question was about. Have a real good think about what you want out of that gym. Like, what are you going there for? Ultimately, from my understanding, is that you'd be going there for, number one, the coaching, and number two, the culture of that gym. Because with two of those things that work really well, it could be outside, it could be in a basement, it could be in the mountains, it could be in a freaking waste area, but you would still get amazing workouts and amazing coaching with amazing people. So you're hitting those things that are really important. Now, here are some big no-nos in my opinion, right? So I've been to gyms before and I've scouted gyms where the first thing that they would do when I walked in that door was take me and introduce me to their DVD zone. That's right, where you can choose a DVD and go sit on the treadmill or stay on the treadmill or whatever it is and watch it. But that was his first selling point. Okay, noted. Number two, guess what was number two? The showers and changing rooms. We have the biggest shower area in the city. We have the most beautiful changing rooms with towels that are very soft. Okay, it was probably 3 or 4 different areas they wanted to show me, including the cafe, before we got to the things that were important. Now, this wasn't a group fitness training gym, this was a regular gym. And then we actually did get to an area that was pretty cool. They had a functional fitness zone that had barbells and kettlebells and TRXs and all the stuff that I would want in a gym. Now, I wasn't actually going there to purchase, I was going there for a little bit of research, and it wasn't in Seoul. Excuse me, son, can you please move away? You're banging the tripod there, buddy. And it wasn't, I wasn't actually going there to become a member, but I really wanted to do some, you know, a bit of scouting. So it was a really interesting little project for me. So check those things first. If that's their key selling point, then you sort of want to walk away. If number two, if they bring you into their gym and they don't focus on you first, because we all know that when you go into a gym to check it out, especially a CrossFit One, for example, you're there to sign up and get your life changed or affected in a really positive way. You don't want to sit down with someone and hear them harp on about how awesome they are at CrossFit, or hear them talk about their day or whatever, right? As a member or potential member, you need to be listened to for that first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is. The question should be shot straight to you. Why are you here? What can I do for you? What is the purpose of you looking at training with us? Because how can I assess that situation? How do I know what you really want without listening? I can't assume it. So we need to ask those questions. So if you're not being talked to or listened to by that coach, manager, sales representative, whatever it is, then in the long run, maybe they're not going to be the right gym for you. Another one, guys, to really think about, this is not so much about choosing the right gym, but just choosing what you want. Now, if you want a lot of attention, if you crave it, if you need it, then you need to evaluate obviously how much you want to invest on a monthly basis, because joining a group training facility, that it's relatively cheap. Let's say it's $300 a month. You're paying that much because you're sharing a class with 15 to 20 other people. So you're ultimately paying for the attention of that group. Now, the coach will do their best to get to you and give you as much support and much training and much much guidance as they can. But remember, there are another 20 people there. So if you don't get as much one-on-one treatment as you really want or desire, then you need to consider going down the next stage, which will be a little bit more money for a smaller group training. That way, maybe there's a group of 6, you're paying maybe twice the amount, but now you're getting more contact. And if you want that, and if you need it, and if you really want to get better, then that's a way to do it. And then it just progresses on to the point where if you need a lot of attention and you want it, and you want to learn and you want to get right into it, then you pay for one-on-one training. Okay, so just know that your expectations of joining a group class are that you're going to be in a class with a group. And yes, it's roughly $10 a day if you do 30 days at 300,000 won, or $300 a month. You're paying for that much attention. So don't get too upset if you can't be at the center of that attention 24/7 while you're at that gym, because that coach is doing their best to give you as much as they can. Okay, guys, so God, I hope I gave you some pointers on what to look for when joining when we're trying to find the gym that's right for you. Ultimately, though, the moral of that story is find the right coach. That coach is ideal and is very important. Programming, sure, it's important, but the right coach will get you through any programming and will teach you and guide you the best way. And facility doesn't really mean anything in my eyes, to be honest. I mean, as you know, we have the full-on, someone just posted just before, the gym is everywhere, and that's true. I mean, you're not paying for the gym, you're paying for results and you're paying for coaching. Okay? Good stuff. So, next question. Why do I still have fantastic hair and I'm over 35? Well, I don't know actually. In all honesty, when I was growing up in high school, I had massive receders like I still do now. So I was going to be the guy that goes bald first. I think the thing was, genetically, my brother and I both had massive receding line, and it's just been that way ever since. Yeah, sure, it's a bit of a 5 to 6 to 7 head, but it's been that way since I was very young. So I don't know, man. Luck, I suppose. Luck. Next one. This is a good one, actually. So again, a lot of people ask questions with regarding to becoming coaches and what to do and how to proceed and how to learn and get in that game. Again, this is a massive journey. To become a coach isn't something that just happens overnight or over a weekend. It's it's lifelong learning. You know, I'm learning every day. You know, I still pay for mentorship and coaching myself. I still attend seminars. You know, coaches, the beautiful thing about coaching is you never know everything. I think that's one of the best things about it. And something you may have thought 5 years ago, you may have changed that idea totally by now. You know, it just always evolves and always changes, and you always learn, and your idea on it always changes. So the best bet that I could give to someone who's just starting off or who's really interested in coaching is get as much experience and exposure to different types of training and different coaches and different styles as you can. You need to intern your ass off. If you're going in and you're an intern and you're asking for money and you have been coaching for less than 6 months, you shouldn't be paid at this stage. If you haven't coached more than 6 months to a year to even longer, you're an intern and you shouldn't be running classes by yourself just yet, unless you're one of those complete freak shows, and it could happen. Maybe you have a degree in physiotherapy or something along those lines where you know about the human body and how it moves and what it needs. But if you're fresh and you've just left your office job or whatever, and now all of a sudden you're a coach after 3 months, and you're coaching classes of 10 people on how to do snatches, power cleans, kettlebell swings, or whatever it is, then that's pretty ballsy. You know, just think about it. If someone collapses in that class with a major injury, can you handle that? Number one, that's a really important area to look at. Can you see? Now in coaching, we have to see improper form. It's one of the most important things. If there's a class of 20 people and you can't even, and you're not experienced enough to see one-on-one a mistake in someone's movement that could cause an injury, then how are you supposed to see those mistakes with 20 people? That's you know, that's really dangerous. From little things like having a kettlebell sitting next to a pull-up bar while people are doing kipping pull-ups. Now, over my years, I've seen probably 3 to 4 people slip off the bar during a kipping pull-up, and you know what? I did it myself. Slip off, land on their back. Now, if the kettlebell is placed in the wrong place and they hit the back of their head on that kettlebell, what do you think is going to happen? Now, if you don't have the experience or you haven't been in the game long enough to be able to assess where the equipment is, are you able to see everybody from where you are? Can you see that there's a major fault in that person's movement? Can you see that Billy over there is so tired that that barbell is likely to bounce into someone's shin? Now, these things may sound, you know, pretty easy to notice, but they are not. Especially if you've got your arms crossed having a cup of coffee while people are training. Yeah, I've seen it before. Trust me, and you have too. You know it. All right, so be super careful. So coaches or potential coaches, just volunteer and donate your time to as many, with as many coaches and mentors as you can. And prepare to have your ass kicked all the time. Like, make sure you're ready for feedback. I actually have a coaching degree. That's what I went to university to study. And we had to coach teams and individuals and athletes with special needs. We had to video all of our workouts for the entire year. Sorry, all of our coaching sessions. We had to video them and analyze them, write up massive reports on them, and make sure that we can identify our own issues. And look, it was super embarrassing. You know, hearing your own voice for the first time is actually embarrassing. But then seeing the way you move, seeing the way you click your pen every 5 seconds that you didn't know you did it, hearing you say seeing your body language, those things are extremely powerful. Now, if you can't take feedback, and we've all had lots of feedback in this industry. If you're a coach, you've had more feedback than you can ever imagine, and it's awesome, and it makes you so uncomfortable. But it's the most important thing ever. Then you're going to be in the wrong industry. Another thing to consider, guys. I always used to say this when I was running my gyms, that if you're coaching 3 to 4 hours a day, which I don't think is a lot, If you're coaching 3 to 4 hours a day and you feel like you're burnt out after that day and that you're, you need a week off or you need whatever, you're in the wrong business. Again, you're gonna get tired and exhausted. I get tired and exhausted all the time, every week, from coaching, being on the game. Trust me, it happens. But you know what? I still feel good in my heart and I still smile at the end of those workouts. So if you're coaching 2 hours over one weekend and you say, oh my God, it's Monday, I'm so exhausted, wrong business for you. Wrong business for you. I'm sorry. Because if you really, truly wanted to be in that job and you loved it, it feeds you. You're gonna be exhausted, but the passion will still be fed. So that's another really good indication. And I've seen a lot of coaches over the years, over the years, quit their jobs and want to become a coach. So they start the process. After 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, all of a sudden they're a coach. All of a sudden they're getting paid, and all of a sudden they're getting tired. So what do? Ask for more money to support their coaching, to make sure they are inspired. Your guess is as good as mine. Do you think that person is still coaching to this day, or people that follow that sort of scenario? Not many. They go straight back to what they were doing, or they change roles completely, because it's not an easy game, guys. Changing lives and helping people is extremely demanding, but it's also very rewarding. So when you get in the game and you can handle it, it's amazing, but it is very exhausting. And there is no off. There's no day off. It's 24/7, because people want to talk to you about their diets and want to talk to you about what kind of training to do. They want to hear what kind of styles of equipment they should be buying. It never ends. And I love that. And that's why we're doing these videos right now, because otherwise I'd just be chilling back poolside here with a cocktail. They'll come later. But right now I want to give you guys some value. So again, I'm always up for conversation. If someone wants to be a coach and they're not sure, you need to talk to people before you pull the trigger and quit your jobs. Come and grab a coffee with me and ask me what you should do. Is this just any questions, ask for any kind of feedback, because I'll give you the honest truth. And if it hurts, fine. And if I say, look, maybe it's not for you, prove me wrong, even better. That's awesome. I've been told no before and I've proved people wrong. It's gonna happen. And maybe in a conversation or from experience of what I know, maybe I don't know you as well as what I should. So don't ever be discouraged by a no, but it's good to audit yourself and really try to figure out, is it the right path or not? All right, God. Sorry guys, you know that I love this stuff, so I could talk for days. Thank you, Maddox. I've got one more question, and it went along the lines of, following along from the coaching side of things. There you go, Vanessa, lock it in. The next one, guys, is about, actually the question was this: if I wasn't a coach, what would I be? This is a good one, and you know what? This may surprise some of you. A few friends will know this, but in high school, I had a couple of passions: sports and performing. And again, I think a lot of them go hand in hand. Coaching a class is not the same, but I think it gives the same kind of feedback and same kind of joy as I think as performing in front of a group, right? Because essentially that's what you're doing. You're entertaining, educating, and you're inspiring people. So it's really important. All right? That's all right. So what happened was, when I went to university, there was a couple of paths to look at there, and I was actually really considering going to acting school. I've always been someone who quite enjoys being in front of a camera or in front of a group of people. Those that have known me for many, many years will understand that for sure. And even when I was in my first year of coaching at university, in my coaching degree, I still thought about joining that acting school. Very different types of people, trust me. You can see the different types of people, but it was something that I was very, very drawn to. So if I wasn't a coach, I'd maybe be an actor or a musical performer. I love musicals and being on stage. I'm not the best singer though. Those of you that know me will understand that as well. But surely I would have got taught how to sing, if I went to one of these classes. So, but again, there's a lot of similarities between coaching and being in front of a group and inspiring people as performing. So I think it sort of feeds the same kind of passions and the same power. So for me, that would be definitely a bit of a path on that. Another thing that I was very into actually was hospitality, was running restaurants or cafes, or, hey, go inside, mate, if you're scared of the cat. Also hospitality was a huge passion, and I started working in restaurants at the age of 13 years old. Not because of my maturity level, but just because I was the same size I am now, and people thought I was much older. But those skills, learning in hospitality, and Michael Underhill was my mentor back then, and the things he taught me as a waiter and as a supervisor of that silver service dining restaurant, I use those every single day. Customer service with dealing with a restaurant and complaints and orders of large group, that will teach you some massive life skills. So if you haven't been into it, or you're someone who's quite young now, work in a cafe, work in a restaurant, work in those places, because you will learn so much. Professionalism, you'll learn about your body language and how you're standing, how to talk to strangers, how to multitask those numbers and remember things and see these things, eyes for detail. That kind of stuff is priceless in my opinion. And I actually reached out to my mentor a wee while back to thank him for those skills, because again, every day in my job and in my world, I've used skills that he taught me. And by the time I was 16 years old, I was actually the supervisor manager of that place, and was making at that time extremely good money. So I was, that's something else. That's another area that I really was quite excited about. And to this day, who knows? I still enjoy that kind of stuff. Running a little cafe would be lovely. But yeah. All right, so let me just skim through these comments here, make sure I haven't missed anything. Hugh Jackman isn't either, but yeah, that's the boy. I think I saw something in here that I was going to get to. Hold on a second. Oh, look at the names on here. Some Kiwi folk. What's up, team? Will we see a Spartan trifecta this year and spread it out throughout the year? Next year, I would say yes, you would hope so, right? So 3 events or 2 events with the chances to finish your Spartan race trifecta would be the ultimate plan, of course. So keep an eye out for that. Don't quote me. I'm just saying what I think would be right. Anything else on here I've missed? Look at the names. Awesome. Yeah, everywhere is my gym. That's right. Oh yeah, some old school people on there I haven't seen for a while. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in, guys. So you know, another thing at the moment is really trying to think about that gym is everywhere concept, because we're so worried about spending so much money on memberships and getting to the gym. But do remember that your body is a phenomenal object, and there's so much you can do with it anywhere and anytime, you know. That whole gym is everywhere philosophy is all about, it's the people that make a gym. You know, if the gym is empty, is it a gymnasium? Well, it's a storage space for equipment that looks like it should be used in a gym. It becomes a gym as soon as that first athlete walks in the door, or that first athlete turns up to the rugby field or turns up to the mountain, whatever it is. That's when it becomes your gym, because it's the community and the people that make it. And I think that's a freaking beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, guys, I've gone on for so long, but again, I could talk for hours. Thanks for joining my first Q&A. I'll keep these things coming, because again, if you know me well, I'm not very good at scripting stuff, so I like to flow with whatever comes my way. So, you know, again, I'll make sure we do these, you know, maybe once a week. Please join in, please post questions. Again, if you want me to touch on anything between now and whenever I do this next, just, you know, DM me a question or post it on my Facebook page. Be sure to check it out. Check out my Instagram page with other content. And again, guys, my newsletter, so I've built up a list and I'm sending out a weekly newsletter on how to live a healthier, happier, more meaningful life, especially for those of you that travel the world in the expat business community. And my first letter went out yesterday to my 12 subscribers. Boom. Now remember that comment, because that was a big day for me. That was my first email I sent out, and it felt really, really good. And there's a lot of content to go out on that, and I'm going to really work on it, because I felt like a really good way to connect with my crew and share some more points. I'm not a huge writer, so again, it's another skill for me to work on. But you know, I'll post the link below, or when I repost this video, where you can subscribe to that letter and receive that information, because you know, there is some really good actionable stuff for anybody out there with regards to nutrition and strategy on how to cut down the drinking, especially if you're a part of a really big drinking culture, whether it's in your sport or in your work or in your community. So all these little tips and strategies I've worked with people for so many years, and myself included. So I want to share them with you. So jump on there, subscribe on there. My mission is to double that subscription list by next week, and I'll let you know if that happens, because again, I like to share my stuff, and you guys are a part of my world. So again, thank you for being part of it. All right, team, gotta get back to my family now. I think Maddox wants to swim and he's waiting for me. So thanks for tuning in. Please share this video if you want, or if you found any value in it. I'll be sure to re-edit it and put timestamps on my YouTube channel, so you can just go to the questions straight away without having to listen to me go on about everything if you're not interested in that. Take care, everybody. I love your work. Have an awesome day, and do something great while you have time left on this earth. See you later, everybody. Cody out.